On a quiet September morning, ARMY around the world woke up to see Jungkook's name officially listed on People magazine's Sexiest Man Alive 2025 Reader's Choice poll. Within minutes, hashtags like Sexiest Man Jungkook and hashtag Vote for Jungkook began trending on X, formerly Twitter. For many fans, this wasn't just a poll, it was a moment of recognition. A Korean idol, once underestimated by the Western press, was now competing head-to-head with Hollywood stars. The poll included famous actors and global figures, yet Jungkook quickly emerged as one of the strongest contenders. Competing against names like Noah Weil, Jungkook represented more than a face. He represented a cultural shift. In past years, the title often went to Hollywood actors, but Jungkook's nomination proved how far K-pop has traveled, breaking cultural walls and redefining what global influence looks like. For fans, Jungkook's appeal goes beyond appearance. Yes, he has the visuals, flawless stage presence, sharp fashion sense, and that unmistakable Calvin Klein aura. But to ARMY, the true sexiness lies in his humility, work ethic, and emotional connection. He can stand on stage before 50,000 fans and command every heartbeat. Yet he can also sing quietly in a late-night live stream, worrying about his skin or laughing at his own clumsy moments. That balance of confidence and vulnerability makes him uniquely magnetic. Within hours of the poll opening, ARMY organized global voting campaigns. Fans created guides, shared time zone reminders, and even built dedicated websites to ensure Jungkook stayed at the top of the leaderboard. Every vote counts, fans wrote online. Let's show the world why Jungkook deserves this. The dedication reflected a larger truth. ARMY sees Jungkook not only as an idol, but as a global standard-bearer of artistry and influence. Winning the poll wasn't just about a title. It was about making history. Even if Jungkook doesn't take home the crown, the nomination itself has already shifted narratives. Western outlets that once overlooked K-pop idols are now forced to recognize the movement's global dominance. For Jungkook, it's another milestone in a career filled with firsts. Youngest member of BTS, record-breaking solo artist, luxury fashion muse, and now a contender for Sexiest Man Alive. For fans, it's simple. Win or lose, Jungkook has already proven what they've always known. He is not only the golden Nominee of BTS, but a worldwide cultural phenomenon. To understand why Jungkook stands out in this year's poll, we need to look back at how his global image has evolved. When BTS first entered the Western music scene, Jungkook was known as the Golden Nominee, admired for his multi-talented skills, singing, dancing, producing, even sports. But over time, he transformed from the youngest member of a boy group into a recognized solo artist, brand ambassador, and cultural figure. The Calvin Klein campaign in 2023 marked a turning point. Suddenly, fashion insiders who had never followed K-pop began asking, who is Jungkook? His effortless ability to merge artistry with global appeal made him not just a celebrity, but a phenomenon. This nomination is simply the latest proof of his unstoppable evolution. People magazine's poll isn't just about good looks, it's about influence and perception. For decades, the Sexiest Man Alive title was dominated by Western ideals of masculinity, but Jungkook's presence changes that conversation. With his soft yet powerful aura, boyish charm balanced with mature charisma, and his ability to switch from fierce performer to shy, down-to-earth artist, Jungkook represents a new definition of global masculinity. Beauty is no longer limited to Hollywood archetypes. Jungkook's nomination signals that the world is ready to embrace diversity, redefining what sexy truly means in the 21st century. As soon as the news spread, ARMY filled timelines with emotional posts. Some fans cried tears of joy, recalling Jungkook's humble beginnings in Busan, auditioning as a teenager, never imagining he would one day be competing for a Western title like this. One fan wrote, "He used to doubt if he was enough. Now the world calls him the sexiest man alive. This is bigger than just an award. This is healing for every fan who grew with him." Others joked playfully, saying, "Finally, People magazine caught up with what ARMY has been saying since 2013. The nomination became not just a recognition of Jungkook, but a collective victory for ARMY, proof that their unwavering support continues to rewrite history. Global media outlets picked up the story almost immediately. Fashion blogs highlighted Jungkook's Calvin Klein campaign again. Lifestyle magazines called him the global pop prince. And music critics noted how rare it is for an Asian artist to break into People magazine's poll at such prominence. Industry insiders believe Jungkook's nomination is more than hype. It could open doors for more non-Western artists to gain visibility in global lifestyle media, shifting the spotlight toward diversity in entertainment. Some analysts even argue that Jungkook's presence in the poll could boost People magazine's engagement, as ARMY's voting power is known to crash servers and trend topics worldwide. Regardless of whether Jungkook wins, this nomination adds to the long list of milestones in his career. From setting streaming records with Seven and Golden, to dominating fashion runways, and now stepping into Western pop culture polls, he continues to prove that his influence is limitless. For ARMY, this is only the beginning. Many believe Jungkook's future holds not just music and fashion dominance, but also wider cultural recognition. Some fans speculate he may one day grace the actual cover of People magazine as Sexiest Man Alive, not just as a nominee, but as the winner. As one fan put it, Jungkook doesn't chase these titles, they chase him. To truly grasp the weight of this nomination, we must go back to where it all started. Jungkook was born in Busan, South Korea in 1997. As a teenager, he dreamed of becoming a singer, but often doubted whether he had the confidence or looks to succeed. His shy personality clashed with the glittering world of entertainment. Yet, when he auditioned for Big Hit Entertainment at just 13 years old, fate began to unfold. Fast forward to 2013, BTS debuted, and Jungkook was introduced as the group's youngest member, the Golden Maknae. He sang, danced, rapped, painted, produced, and even filmed content. Fans admired his raw talent, but also worried about his self-esteem. Now in 2025, the same boy who once hid behind Hyungs on stage is being recognized globally as one of the world's most magnetic figures. This transformation is more than personal growth. It's symbolic of BTS's journey as a whole. Jungkook's nomination also reflects his growing status beyond music. While his artistry is undeniable, his rise as a fashion powerhouse cannot be ignored. His Calvin Klein campaigns broke records, turning every photo into viral content. At New York Fashion Week 2025, his presence generated millions in earned media value, proving that Jungkook is no longer just an idol, he is a brand in himself. When People magazine listed him as a contender for Sexiest Man Alive, many fashion insiders weren't surprised. They've long considered Jungkook a benchmark for modern masculinity, someone who can balance softness and strength, tradition and rebellion, vulnerability and dominance. In the past, winners of Sexiest Man Alive have typically been Hollywood actors, names like Chris Evans, Michael B. Jordan, and Paul Rudd. Their appeal was often tied to blockbuster films and Hollywood glamour. Jungkook, however, represents something different. He's not tied to Hollywood. He's tied to music, culture, and fandom. His rise came not from movie premieres, but from live streams with fans, late-night practice rooms, and stages filled with ARMY chants. In essence, Jungkook's presence on the list is revolutionary. It challenges the idea that sexiness belongs only to Western actors, proving it also belongs to global artists who connect deeply with their audiences. For Jungkook, this nomination may carry a deeper meaning. Fans often recall his early insecurities about his looks and his worth. There were times when Jungkook confessed he didn't think he measured up to the world's standards. Now, to see People magazine list him as one of the world's sexiest men feels like a poetic full circle. It's not just validation from the industry, it's healing for Jungkook himself and for fans who saw themselves in his struggles. ARMY often says, when Jungkook wins, we win too. This nomination embodies that sentiment perfectly. Jungkook's nomination doesn't exist in isolation. It adds another layer to BTS's global legacy. As the group members gradually complete their military service, their reemergence in the global spotlight is already shaping headlines. Jungkook's recognition by People magazine highlights how BTS's influence extends beyond music charts. They are cultural leaders, fashion icons, and now global definitions of beauty. For the group's eventual comeback, milestones like this build momentum, ensuring that when BTS reunites, they won't just return as idols, but as world-shaping icons.